And welcome to ETF Edge, your go-to place for everything exchange-traded funds. I am your host, Bob Pisani. And you know, when it comes to dealing with the Russell 2000 reconstitution and the Russell 1000 reconstitution, along with the ETFs associated with that, this is a very, very big week. This is the year this is going to happen. This is the week it's going to happen. Let's talk to one of the women in charge of all of that. Fiona Bassett is CEO of FTSE Russell, one of the largest indexing firms in the world, owner of the small cap benchmark Russell 2000 and large cap Russell 1000. Also joining us is Todd Rosenbluth, head of research at Verify. Fiona, the reconstitution, as we like to call it for the FTSE, is going to be happening this Friday. It'll be one of the highest volume days of the year. I've seen estimates we could have 135 billion in equities trading on the close. There's stocks moving from the Russell 2000, the small cap, to the Russell 1000, the big cap, also vice versa. Briefly, for viewers who aren't familiar with this, explain how this process works.
Yeah, so thanks, Bob. Great to be here. So, yeah, hugely important event in the Russell calendar. So, as one of the leading US equity benchmarks, we annually reconstitute or rebalance the index. What we do on a rank date on the 30th of April is we basically score the companies by market cap. We look at the eligibility of companies for inclusion in the index. We look at their respective characteristics from a growth and value perspective. And then on the 24th of May, we start preliminary announcements of the additions and deletions to the index. And that process runs for a 4-week period, concluding this Friday on the close. Yeah,
so what we see here is there's several tech names that had a very strong year, and they're moving up from the Russell 2000 to the 1000. I see Super Microcomputer is going from the 2000 to the 1000. That's what, up 600% in the last year. MicroStrategy I see is going into the Russell 1000. That's up 270%. It's easy to see. So it seems like technology are the ones that are moving up.
Yeah, it's certainly the story for Russell 1000, which is being replenished by technology, and the overall direction of which I think speaks to the re-engineering of the US economy around technology. So interestingly, the Russell 2000 is much more of a healthcare story. So very different story depending on whether you're looking at large or small caps.
Yeah. Todd, let me bring you in here. You know this argument about passive investing. As passive investing has gathered more assets, old school stock pickers have complained that passive investing is taking up too much of the investment dollars, and some have implied that just mechanically putting money into big cap indexes like the Russell 1000 or the S&P 500 is reducing the effectiveness of other strategies like value investing. How do you respond to those criticisms?
Well, I think we're seeing stocks moving day to day, regardless of whether or not something is making it into the index. So the Russell 1000 and the Russell 2000 and those respective ETFs are important to focus on. But we at Verify are focusing on the growth and the value slices of those respective benchmarks. And so, for example, Home Depot is now going to be part of the value, the iShares Russell 1000 value ETF. Accenture is moving from the growth to the value. These companies are moving from one to the other because the index calculations show these are now value-oriented companies. There's still opportunities for active managers to outperform a benchmark by choosing which stocks are going to be more growth-oriented or more value-oriented, or overweighting or underweighting that exposure. So that hasn't changed, and we continue to find active managers having some success competing with the benchmarks.